I'm standing in this old, like, sort of council gym. It's not got much good equipment in it. I remember I was by the weight racks where all the dumbbells and everything was. I wanted to do bench press, like dumbbell bench press. So I was looking at all the weights, and all the big ones were on the left side and all the little ones were on the right. I chose to pick up the lightest big ones, which were like maybe 10, 12 kg. They weren't a lot. Like, I tried to pick them up and I was like, I generally couldn't. They were too heavy for me. So then I have to walk all the way to like the really small weights, for like goal ones, where they're just tiny. And I pick those and I have to do like those little weights. It feels so demotivating. It's the other weights that like my mum would do, and I'm having to do them as I'm not strong. I'm a little like skinny teen. I'm about 16 or so. I'm still in school, and I feel so like embarrassed, I want to say is the best word for it. There's no one even in the gym, but I still feel embarrassed. Just looking at myself with these light weights, trying to do them, but I can't. It's just sad. Like, it's just, why is this happening? And I think back to that moment. I think back to that like person. And there was so many things I wish I could tell him. There were so many things I wish I could say. If you just do this, if you just do that exercise, if you just eat that food, you're gonna get bigger quicker, mate. But I didn't. I made so many mistakes on the way. I did so many stupid exercises. I remember once I was doing something called spider curls. It's where you put like your chest on the bench instead of your back, and you curl like that. I remember I did it once and the bench collapsed on me. I went like face first, nearly into the ground. I felt like such a pillock, so stupid, like everyone was watching me. But through silly moments like that, just the stupid things I did, I learned a lot. And in this video, I'm going to just tell everything I could to my younger self and how you can gain muscle and how you can actually get that dream physique I always wanted. So first, say the obvious one's bulking. To go from skinny to muscular, you're going to have to eat more food than you usually eat. And I was a kid, I had a super fast metabolism, like the fastest ever. I'd eat pizzas, I'd eat sweets every day. I'd stop at KFC every like day of high school. On my bike, I'd bike to KFC and I'd get a snack box. Cake, Subway, like I ate really unhealthy, but I was skinny. And now they called it a hard gainer. I don't really like that word, but they said I was a hard gainer essentially. I couldn't gain weight easily. So when I had to bulk a lot. I had to eat a lot. Like as much as I physically could. And these foods obviously weren't healthy foods. It would be bagels, burgers, digestive biscuits, like cookie dough pizzas, Belgian buns, so many different foods. And they were the foods that I needed to eat. So I just ate them. I remember going to Tesco's after the gym and I'd buy a batch of bagels. Then I'd cook them, I'd have the cheese in them, I'd eat them. And I'd eat my dinner. Then I'd have some an ice cream smoothie for dessert. I'd just eat as much as I physically could. As I wanted to get big, I wanted to bench 100 kg. That was my goal. That was what I was going for. So I was just eating everything I could. But it didn't really go particularly well. Well, it did, but it didn't. I benched 100 kg. I hit that milestone. I remember I was with the gym. My friend was spotting me, and I just did it. Like, it was just on a random day. I just thought, oh, you know what? I'll give it a try. As I hadn't benched in a while, and I just did it. It was like I wanted to hype up a lot. I imagined loads of people around me watching, but instead it was just me, one friend, and I did it. And it still felt brilliant. But even though I could bench 100 kg, I was strong and I was getting stronger. I was benching 115 at one point. I was 95 kg, sort of out of shape, overweight, and I just hated my body. As I ate all those bad foods, like I said, I was doing the bulking, I was eating the pizzas, the burgers, the cookie doughs, the digestive biscuits, all of it. And it really ruined my body. As like the bad foods, like if you think of a fat person, if you think of a really obese person, like just look at the foods they eat. Just look at like how they stuff their face. And I don't mean this in a mean way or a rude way, but you can tell they eat loads of McDonald's, loads of that bad food. As their skin's like greasy, it's like slurry. Just how they act, they're very slumpish, they're very slow. And this is all from the bad food. And when I ate that bad food, even though I'm an athletic guy, I'm a young man, I've got a fast metabolism. When I eat that bad food as well, I end up like them. I end up slow, sluggish, like greasy face, spotty skin, like just horribleness. But I didn't know there was other ways to bulk. I didn't know I should do something else. And what I should have done, what I wish I'd done, and what I want to tell my younger self now was to lean bulk, was to eat whole foods when you bulk. What this is you still have to bulk, you still have to eat a calorie surplus, or you eat more calories than what you burn. But you can do it in a healthy way still. You don't have to just eat burgers, pizzas, just for high calories. Instead, you should have meats, like what I would eat. As I was at that 95 kg point, but I cut back down to 73. So I cut back down 20 kg, back to sort of round my starting point. And I wanted to bulk up again. And this time what I did was a lean bulk, a clean bulk, the bulk I'm speaking about, where I ate whole foods. I'd eat things like oats for breakfast, like you just have oats, like, I was trying to explain oats, like these white things, and then water in it, just like cereal in a way, but healthy cereal. I'd have eggs, scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, it doesn't matter, just eggs with these like butter, full fat butter. Full fat butter is where it's in like a metal tin, a metal, like it's in tin foil. I'm not going to explain it, but I'd have those two. I'd have like chicken and rice. I'd cook it myself. I'd season it myself. I'd have mince and sweet potato. I'd have plain nuts throughout the day. All these different foods I used to bulk, even peanut butter and cheese. They're probably all the foods I used to bulk. And these foods were a lot healthier. And it resulted in me bulking up to 81 kg. But doing it in a healthy way. Like I wasn't any more bloated, I wasn't any more spotty. Instead I had more energy, I felt better, I felt more happy about my physique. I'd look in the mirror and I just feel gassed of how I looked. That's just I eat the healthy foods, the right foods, is you feel genuinely healthy. And a lot of people argue, I get so many comments on like, one pizza isn't bad for you, one cookie isn't bad for you, one milkshake isn't bad for you. And it's not really, it's not subjectively. If you eat one cookie, if you eat one pizza, you're not gonna get overweight, get really chubby cheeks and look really unhealthy. But it's more of a sort of a mentality that one cookie gets you. It's, when you eat one cookie, like try just eating one cookie, eat one digestive biscuit. It's so hard not to eat another, not to have one the next day or just at all. At least for me it is. If I eat, like even now, if I went and ate one digestive biscuit, I would eat another and another. Like I couldn't stop at one. So instead I had to cut out the bad foods out at all. I had to cut out all the bad foods. So I didn't eat biscuits, I didn't eat burgers, I didn't eat pizzas, I didn't eat none of that. I just ate clean. Because if I only ate clean, then I wouldn't think about the junk food. I wouldn't eat all the bad food. And it's like, it's sort of like the same as a smoker, as a drug addict. That's how I see it. You wouldn't tell a smoker to just have one cigarette, just have one puff of a vape. Instead, you'd have to cut it out completely. As if a smoker had one like cigarette, one puff of a cigarette, they're gonna smoke another and another and another. We know this, and then it's the same with food. Food's an addictive substance. We don't think it's addictive because it's a normal food, but all these junk foods, all these processed foods, they're made to keep you addictive. That's why they've got so much sugar in it, and you can't stop eating them. The same for me. I'd sit there, eat bowl and bowl and bowl of cereal, and I couldn't physically stop. So you have to eat healthy, and maybe you have to go extreme with it, but it's gonna get you the results. It's gonna get you the body you want, and it's gonna get you better energy, happiness. It's just gonna get you a lot more. So I'd establish the diet. I'd eat a lean bulk, so healthy whole foods only. And as well as having this good diet, I'd train hard. I'd train, like, I know it sounds stupid, I'd train hard, but I'd go to the gym, I'd show up and I'd train as hard as I can. And it's the two things you really need to build muscle. It's the simplicity of it, the eating good food and training hard. But when I say training hard, I mean like physically pushing yourself to another barrier, going to somewhere you'd never been before. And for me, the first time I ever did this was when I trained with friends. As I'd be doing bench press, and like you do a couple reps, and you know when you're near failure, like you're doing it and you're starting to struggle. I was starting to struggle to push it up, and I'm proper like trying, and I just about get it up, and then my friend goes one more. And I'm fit, like in my mind, I'm saying so many swear words about it. I'm thinking, what is this guy talking about? He doesn't know anything. I'm like, how am I physically supposed to do one more? But he goes, come on, one more. What, are you scared or something? I've got to do one more. So I bench, and I'm pushing. And like, you know when you're struggling so much, it's hardly going up. And I'm thinking, he's got to help me in a sec. Like, I see him, like, I can see him in my peripheral vision with his hands behind his back, just waiting for me to still finish my rep. I'm thinking I'm going to die in a second. But I push and I generally do one more. I think I'm at the point, but I do one more. And at that point, like, I push myself to the extreme, like, to where I can't do no more. So training with a partner, training with someone, you can go to a different level. But I didn't always have a partner to train with, to be fair. It was like once in a while I'd have a partner to train with. And when I did it by myself, you can still go to that level. And you simply just ask for a spotter. If you're doing like bench press, if you're doing like any sort of movement that you'd want to spot, squats, something like that, just ask someone to spot you, a random person in the gym. They'll help you push to the like extreme level to as hard as you can. And as well as that, you socialise with people. You get that, like, you make friends. It's a really good way to make friends. Just ask someone for a spot. So every time I go to the gym, I'd always ask a different person for a spot, as I saw it as like a social act of bettering my social skills, getting more confident speaking to strangers. And also, I actually needed a spot. I didn't want to die on the bench press, so I asked for a spot. And like these little things of just asking for a spot, that's how you train to like be extreme. Other things were like, tracking your progress. Like, I used a Strong app. This was an app that you like write down your weights and what reps you're doing each week. Doing this, you track your progress again. You see and you just like have a new goal. As if I knew I did 100 kg the week before for 3 reps. This week I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna do 100 kg for 4 reps. I'm gonna do 100 kg for 5 reps. And I have this goal. And when you're, say you've got the spotter, you're on the bench press and you've got this goal of, okay, 100 kg for 5 reps. You tell your spotter, we're doing 100 for 5. Don't save it until I've done the 5th rep. And you generally go for it with like a goal of how many reps you're gonna do. You do push harder. You go for the goal. And it's the same, it's honestly the same with anything, with running, with any fitness accomplishment. If I told myself, okay, I'm gonna run to Tesco's and back in 7 minutes, and I've got my timer, I've got my phone, and I'm seeing, okay, it's 5 minutes right now, I've still got to run. I'm going to run faster. If I just say I'll go and run to Tesco's and back, it will maybe take me 10 minutes. But if I set a goal of 7 minutes, I'll speed up and I'll do it in 7 minutes. So it's these little things like this of just going sort of extreme, just going that extra mile, doing that extra step. As I could have made this video and I could have just said the basic things like, you've got to just eat a bulk. It doesn't matter what foods, just eat so many calories. Use MyFitnessPal to do that. You've got to, you know, train hard. You've got to push your muscle to failure. But it's more than that. To do it, you've got to do those little like steps that people aren't doing. So that's eating healthy foods instead of unhealthy foods. So most people neglect this. They just think a calorie is a calorie. They eat the healthy food, eat the unhealthy foods. But instead, just eat the healthy foods. Eat the foods that are good for you. As well as this, just doing what people don't do. So asking for a spot, just going somewhere where people don't go. Just taking that step ahead is a competition in a way. I always saw it as a competition. And if I just got one step ahead of everyone else, then it went as well as it could go. So, yeah, I hope this video has helped you. Please comment down below any questions you have. I'm trying to diversify and give you advice that you had never heard before. So if you have any questions, comment them down below. But apart from that, like and subscribe now. Thank you for watching.